Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Happy welcome to our first MicroStation FireSide Chat 2023. And I directly hand over to my colleague Gabriel Ayora, who will guide us through the today's session. Gabriel, you must unmute yourself.
Oh, sorry about it. Thank you, Nanette, for hosting this session. As Nanette mentioned, we will be having a brief discussion about MicroStation today. Our protagonist today is Mark Miller, working at HDR as a project manager. He will be discussing with us the features that he loves about MicroStation. First of all, use the comment sections to send any question that you may have, either if you are on LinkedIn or if you are on YouTube or any of our other streaming platforms. We will be taking some questions as we go, and they will be answered live. However, you will have our contacts for later if you have any other additional question. This session will be recorded for your convenience, so no need for you to take notes. And please stay tuned with us, Nanette, Maria, myself, for to be informed about the next session. So our host today is Mark Miller. He has more than 20 years of experience working in the computer aided design. He has collaborated in a lot of design, supervision, and document management, digital delivery of a full spectrum of large scale transportation projects. Mark has plenty of experience in CAD systems and project implementation, and he has been a key player for HDR in regards to the largest projects. Some of them include the LAX automated people mover, the Port of Long Beach Rail Facility expansion, and some other. Mark is also a valued member of HDR's National CAT, so Subject Matters Group, and he provides CAD and BIM advisory services and support ranging from design platform troubleshooting, systems development. He is also a key contributor to HDR's CAD protocols and best practices, and he serves as the CAD and document management representative on Southern California's Quality Streeting Committee. Mark is an accredited BIM information management practitioner with an emphasis in CAD systems. Mike Leazar has more than 44 years of experience in the market. Mark is co-founder of Archway System, a company that under his direction grew to over $1 million of CAD consulting, training, and sales. He is also a teacher in a number of colleges and universities, also an author with his book CAD Principles and Application, published by Prentice Hall. And he helps a lot of our customers in North America get a better advantage of their tools. With ourselves is also Karl Kempski. Karl Kempski is the product management for our MicroStation line of products. With me is Maria Sanchez Tuñon, my colleague in Europe, and I myself located here in North America. So some of the topics that we will be discussing today, and this is on Mark's behalf. This is I will let you to him to discuss about the topics that he likes about MicroStation. So please, Mark, thank you for joining us and welcome.
Hey, thanks. Welcome. Or thank you. I'm sorry, but welcome everybody to the fireside chat. Notice the fire. It's nice and warm in here. Um, so it was funny when I was asked originally about some of the things I loved about MicroStation. There are lots, but the kind of the first things that sort of came to mind was the integrated Bing aerial map that is now in the Connect edition. I think that's a really, even though it seems fundamental to the CAD program now. I mean, as far as the it did. As far as Connect Edition, but it's a really big improvement over V8i. In V8i, really, we used to be able to obtain Bing Maps key and then use a MicroStation variable to apply that key and then and then attach it using the raster manager. So it's a little bit of a process, but with MicroStation Connect, it's really integrated right into the display attributes, and it provides really that streaming current aerial, as well as street maps, and a hybrid of the two. So of course, really the great thing about it too is that it just brings all that information to the CAD technicians as they're doing their optioneering and design. Um, So, and really, I think that the thing about it, I think as long as you have the global coordinate system set and in the DGN file,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that you have to be also connected to the
To
connection
the
client too,
internet.
because it is streaming, right?
Yes, it is.
And but it is really, again, like I mentioned, it's great for technicians to a quick usable way to review the design on top of aerials and roadway maps. And again, it's not really meant to take the place of an ortho-rectified aerial photography that you would receive from your surveyor, but it is really helpful for auctioneering and marketing
So
proposals.
maybe Carol can show us a little bit
Hmm.
about what you are referring here.
Sure.
So if we
Yeah.
could switch to Carol's.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure. So in Connect Edition, you can find our geographic coordinate system here. So I've got here some simple model of roads from North America, and you can either apply that from the library. So if you know that it's in the North America, for example, you are just going through the library, and you can find the coordinates which you want. And one second.
Yeah, one thing to point out here too is that you can, with all this huge list, you can make favorites there. So if you need to continue to use the same one, you can quickly get back to them in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
future.
That's a great
That's
point.
neat if you work in the same area always.
Yeah.
So now this model has a coordinate system, right? So yeah, we can, for example, switch on the background map, so street map, and check out if it suits here. So
Yeah.
you can see
That's
it suits.
fantastic. And you have the ability to
Yeah.
kind of add the transparency there to it as well, to kind of have things kind of stand out, your graphics stand out a little bit.
Yeah, I will show that in the next model.
Sure.
And there are, of course, different option of coordinates. You can also open that in the Google Earth very easily. Yeah, so that's.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the things we do at HDR too is, we'll create like an aerial reference file from this streaming aerial, and then reference it into the the aerial DGN file into say our exhibits or figures, and then have the ability to kind of clip things out and use it as like a standard reference as well. So it's a
Yeah.
really and the great thing too is that you can print it. So when you print the in your exhibits, it even stamps the Bing copyright information too on the bottom, as well for copyright
Mm-hmm,
purposes.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was about to add.
Oh, well, there you go.
So, moving up to the next thing that you told us you love about
Oh,
MicroStation.
yeah, and
I'm
this is
ready.
yeah,
Go ahead.
this. Oh no, this is something that I think that really is kind of dated back to the beginning of MicroStation, certainly Intergraph days, probably even when it was Unix, and but really it's the graphics reliability and stability of the program, and is really fantastic. And you can see here, as Carol is showing that, the display graphics are really seamless in MicroStation, and the ability to handle reference files and handle large data like point clouds and reality meshes and surfaces really help it stand out for large scale infrastructure projects, which is really what I love most about it. Is just the ability to kind of know that that the program is probably not going to crash on me when I attach all these heavy weighted files. I can move around in them, um, and just without any issue. And MicroStation being sort of the base uh, software, CAD software for all, or the CAD engine, I think, for ORD, OBM, open buildings, and a lot of the Bentley software. You can kind of count on that graphic reliability in your day-to-day, engineering.
Yeah,
Is
it's
this?
referred to as the Power Platform, is what it is. So.
There you go. Yeah.
And I think all of us that have been design engineers can relate, to handling big files and then having to cross your fingers, just wishing that the platform doesn't crash on you at that very moment.
Exactly.
With
Exactly.
MicroStation, that rarely occurs, to be honest. And if by any chance it occurs, for example, a power outage that may present at some moment, you will have the certainty that all of the work that you have been done till the very last moment was saved in MicroStation because
Right.
everything is being saved as you go working with
Yeah, it's
them.
got the auto save
I
feature,
always
right?
love that,
Yeah.
to be honest.
And you
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
have to
for
wait
sure.
a long time to open the file. So this is a great
As
advantage also.
well, as
Yes.
well.
Yeah, and I think one of the reasons why a lot of the DOTs and agencies love it is because of that. They just in the way that it handles reference files and really these large these large data sets is really phenomenal.
Yeah, you're right, especially in the DOT environment, because it also gives them, I mean, there's a lot of advantages. I think we could have another fireside with only the topics that make this desirable for DOTs, but
Yeah,
especially I feel that the amount of control that MicroStation offers for them in regards to how they want subcontractors to deliver the projects is just huge on itself.
yeah, yeah. And in the future, I mean, this industry, obviously with more on the digital, you know, digital age, digital delivery side of things, it's going to make a huge difference for us too. So
Maybe, I'm sorry to interrupt you quickly. Gabriel, maybe you should quickly explain what are DOTs, because outside of the US, nobody
Yeah.
knows. So
Yeah,
no,
please
you're right,
exactly.
you're
Yeah.
right.
explain that quickly, because I think these capabilities are also important for non-US users. So yeah, your
For
turn.
sure, for sure. Sorry about our viewers located outside of the United States. We are talking here about the departments of transportation that are located in North America.
Exactly. Exactly. I should have
And
been more clear on that.
yeah, I know, me too. So if we could back to my presentation, we can then discuss the next topics. Mike, sorry, also has some topics that he loves about MicroStation, and he would love to show us through some of
Yeah.
those.
So thank you, Gabriel. And hi, everybody. This is Mike Lazier here. So when Mark, in the pre-meetings, when we were talking about dealing with large references, I realized that in a lot of the classes that I teach, that we run into people that are not aware of a number of the features that are available within references. So I've listed some here. The first one I think everybody should know, but it's critical to the use of MicroStation, is the ability to clip your references in order to create your sheets or to get part of what you need. Same thing with raster references, the images, you can clip those as well. So that's a key feature that pretty much everybody already uses. But there are three that I identified that I find in classes that people are not aware of. The first of that is the ability to adjust the color of the references. And you see over there on the right side of this slide there that the adjustment of colors. So you can, if you want the entire reference to be gray, you can do that. If you want it to be transparent, you can do that. If you want it to be the regular colors but just muted, you can do that. So there's all this ability to adjust exactly what that reference is going to look like. And that's key for a lot of things that you do, because you want to see the master file primarily, and sometimes you just want to see where the reference is, but not necessarily have it stand out as much. So
So
that's the first
maybe
of the yeah.
Sorry, so maybe Carol can show us through a couple of these things as we speak about
Sure,
them.
sure.
Sure.
Go for it.
So, I mean, for example, here, which you just mentioned, we've got in properties, we've got when we click on some of the reference, we can adjust colors, and we can change, for example, the value of as you can see in the background. So it was too quick.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah, common thing
saturation,
to
we
want
can.
to I was going to say, common thing to want to do is to make it, a lot of times want to make it gray,
I
and you can
see.
set it to fixed and then, adjust. If you click that on fixed on the right there, and then you can then you can mess with the slide. I can't see the sliders that well here on my laptop today, but anyway, you can adjust those and dial in the whatever shade you want. So
I think it's important to
quite
mention
handy.
also that this doesn't change the original file. It's just how it appears. You don't change
It's an
the original
override.
file data. You don't
Yeah.
override anything. It's just how you see it, because that is easier for lots of people. As Mike said, for example, that they want the, if they are doing mechanical design, then they want the architecture to be appearing only in gray, because then it's easier to go with the pipes and all that. So it's important that you can just see change the outcome of what you see, but not the original file.
Correct.
Also,
Right, it's
when you mention the
all non-destructible. Yeah. Go ahead.
when you mention the big files, here's one nice model which is like 7.5 gigabytes, and we've got all the files from open buildings, open roads, from MicroStation. For example, the retaining wall was created, and now I'm going to attach here mesh, which is about 4 gigabytes, and look how easily it's working here. The model is really interesting because the city here was destroyed by the earthquake, the Pescara city in Italy, and we recreated in our software, in MicroStation, in open buildings, in open roads, the city, and we made a reality mesh around of the area. So I think it's nice to see that you can also change the references of the files which are here. For example, you can when you exchange this file, you can separate them, and you can, for example, change now the style of display here. So, for example, you can make them wireframe.
Yeah.
So very easily you can play with references, and in such a huge file, right? It's a 7.5 gigabytes. So it's MicroStation is this connector of all the applications at Bentley Systems.
Yeah, exactly. It's that graphic reliability, right? That really,
Yeah.
I mean, look at the speed at which you can do all this.
All that leads right into the next one on my list too, is the ability to set a presentation mode for the reference that is separate from the master file. So if you have some view attributes that you want to be different, or you have a completely different display style that you want to apply to the reference from the master file, you can do so. And that's just that's again one of those things that people don't often take advantage of, but it's a really nice feature.
Yeah.
Just to comment on my last one that was on my slide too. So not only can you control the presentation, you can also choose what you want. Now, I don't know if that model that you're looking at would necessarily apply to that, but sometimes you only want to reference part of a file. Now, if that's just an area, you can clip it. That's an easy solution. But sometimes it's not that. You want, hey, maybe I only want all the vessels from the file to show up and nothing else. You can go into the reference file, exchange to it, just like Carol showed us a few minutes ago. You could build a name group of just a certain part of the elements. And then when you come back, you can reference in and select just the name group that you want to be referenced in. And that gives you that ability to choose exactly what you want to be shown from the reference.
So MicroStation has been regarded as the ultimate data integrator when it comes to how many format files it can integrate into their workflow.
Yeah.
So I think this is a huge feature that on itself we can use these features that you just mentioned now, Mike, to filter out maybe the work that we are not doing at the moment, so we can have a better workflow in that regard. I find that all of these features are really focused into that, and maybe we are thinking about big projects where we are involving like a lot of disciplines. But even for example, if we are working like a small drainage project, it can be really useful to filter out, the drinking water from the sewage water, from the manholes, from all of those features, that we need to filter out when we are working with each of them at a moment.
One other feature I didn't list, but it goes right along with what you're saying, Gabriel, is the ability to use display rules and create your own display style where you could have some particular type of an element pop so that you could see it. And just like Nanette mentioned uh, on the references, it's non-destructive. It isn't going to change the actual file, but you could, again, using vessels as an example, you could say, okay, all vessels that are a certain percentage full, show them in red, and if they're empty, show them in green. And so you do that with display styles and creating of display rules. So that is definitely a Connect Edition only feature.
Indeed, and it goes hand to hand. So we are already a couple of minutes over our time limit. So if we could switch back to my presentation, please, for the ending minutes. So yeah. So as I mentioned here, MicroStation is if Maria, if you could pitch in here
Yes,
about what I said.
yes. So I think MicroStation supports more than 72 different formats and can exchange information with BIM or other CAD products. So here, as you can see, as build planning, environmental, transportation, or structural design, site engineer, and more, they can all be together and managed by MicroStation. So everything with this single tool, thanks to its capabilities and collaboration features. As we have said, it doesn't matter the size of your project. MicroStation is a very good solution in order to have comprehensive, accurate, and up-to-date designs. So as we have been speaking, MicroStation is the data integrator tool for CAD and also BIM environments. And here you can see we have a QR. You can have a customized demo related to the capabilities of MicroStation you are interested in. So please don't forget to watch it.
Thank you. Thank you, Maria. And just a little of some announcements in regards to everything that we have related to MicroStation. So, Archway Systems will be participating in these free bash trainings that we are showing right now on the screen. They are open to every public. They are free for everyone. So you just need to register using the QR code that you are seeing right now on the screen. And remember that this will be recorded. So in case you don't have time to scan this QR code, you can do it later when the recording is available later today. So scan the QR code to register for this training. They are free. They are open to everyone. So I think it's a great opportunity for you to get to know MicroStation and or any other of the softwares that will be showcased there. So continuing into that, MicroStation things that we are always delivering. Tomorrow we will have a webinar, and this actually starts a series of webinars that we will have through the year. So if you are still not convinced that MicroStation is the right tool for you, join my colleagues Ethan and Eduardo tomorrow. They will start the series of webinar. We will start tomorrow with the superior 3D modeling of MicroStation. We have a question waiting for us there in the comments that is related to this, and maybe will be showcased tomorrow. So tune into that webinar and register for that. You can always get more information about MicroStation on demand using the available channels that we have right now. So we are present on Twitter. We have a YouTube channel. You can use the Bentley. You can even get in contact with ourselves, to get to know more about MicroStation. If you are convinced by this fireside that the MicroStation tool is for you, you can scan this QR code that we are seeing on the screen. It will take you to the purchase page of MicroStation, where this week you will be able to take advantage of the 20% off discount that we have till Friday. So the deal ends Friday. If you don't see the code, please reach out to me, but the code should be available to everyone on that purchase page that I just
It appears
sent.
directly if you contact.
Right. So that's it from us. I know we are a little over the time limit. So if
We
you
have
have
some more minutes
any,
to answer questions, so no worries, Gabriel. We
all
still
right.
Yeah,
have
Gabriel.
6 minutes left if as you like.
Gabriel, I'd like to just quickly answer one of the questions that Manish asked about create a 3D line type. There is a Bentley course on that that's free that you can download. I don't know the link off the top of my head. If somebody sent me an email, mike@archwaysystems.com, I can send you the information for that course on how to create a 3D line
Mike.
type.
I think, Gabriel, it's a good idea to share the email addresses of all the participants after we finish, and then every attendee can contact us again or directly and get answers to the questions that they have. Because each of us is responsible for different regions and different locations and so on. So I think it's good if we just share emails and countries where we belong to.
Thank you. And just we have a final thing that Maria will be sharing with us.
So here it is, a small present also for you and for Gabriel, that today is his birthday. So the recipe of the month, the spicy spice prawn soup, and you can have also the veggie option. So I hope you enjoy it.
So thank you everyone for joining us today. Thanks to our audience. Thanks especially to Mark and Mai that could join us today on a very short notice. We really appreciated you sharing with us the capabilities that you most love about MicroStation. Do you have any closing words,
Mike?
I'm good. I answered my question on the 3D line side.
I just want to thank you so much, Gabriel, and everyone for inviting us. This has been great. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for appearing. Thanks to the colleagues. Thanks to our guests. I appreciate that very much. And in case of questions, don't hesitate. Contact us directly. You join us in LinkedIn or connected with us in LinkedIn. Hopefully you copied the QR codes out. So we're looking forward to hearing from you. Thanks. Now we'll close the broadcast.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye.